Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Don't Mom Alone podcast. I am your host, Heather McFadden, and this is the place where I'm going to walk alongside you and connect you with people and resources so you know that you don't mom alone. In this episode number 325, oh man, y'all, hang on. It is a fun ride. I'm inviting Erin Moon and Courtney Cleveland, good friends, on the show, and we're going to talk about owning your motherhood.
Can I just point something out that you just said that I think is so revolutionary?
Okay.
And it is the phrase, it takes years.
Yeah.
Put that on my gravestone. That is, if I could remember that phrase for pretty much everything in regards to motherhood, I think I would be so much freer. How do I get that tattooed on me so I can see it every
I
day?
think y'all are in that phase of like, you don't have one old enough to see what mattered and what didn't.
There's no end to the tunnel.
So these gals are so fun and sharing such wisdom that I just went ahead and hit record. And before I even introduced them, we got going in the conversation. And so I'm going to introduce them now. So the first gal you're going to hear is Courtney Cleveland. She has actually been on the show before. She's from Dallas. She helped me plan my first live event here in Dallas. And she came on the show in 2019 with her friend Laura Hernandez to talk about summer strategies. So if you're needing some help, go check out episode 249. They'll help you plan your summers. Laura is known as Mama Systems, and Courtney is super passionate. Her joy is infectious about travel, and she helps families have all the best days on their trips. She will help you plan trips. She also highlights different cities and tells you how to have the best day in the city. Also on the show is Courtney's longtime friend, Erin Moon, who has been on this podcast before as well, if you're familiar with her. It was episode 236. She came on to talk about Lent, and she has written Bible studies. She also is on the Popcast team, if you know the Popcast with Knox and Jamie. She has her own show within a show over on the Bible Binge podcast. Her show's called Faith Adjacent, and she is legit so funny. Like, one of my favorite Instagram follows is Erin Moon and her husband, Ben, who goes by Captain Amazing, such a Renaissance man. So this is the first time Courtney and Erin have been on a podcast together, and I just think it's magic. I hope you agree. I really would love to do more of these, like friends that come on the show together with me. Just a reminder of the joy of being in relationship with other women and being our unique selves and embracing our own superpowers. Please don't miss Erin's fantastic tip at the end of having a fake Mother's Day. Such a great idea. Let's get right to it. Here we go.
Okay, say that again for the people in the back, Courtney. We'll just start there. Tell me again.
I feel weird being on a show for moms because I feel like I've been avoiding motherhood the entire time. I mean, all my stories, when I was thinking about answering your questions, I was like, I've just been like, one of my friend's favorite stories about me was after I had Coco. I've got a literal baby, and I'm like, oh, you don't go to the wine bar? Let me just grab my lobster high chair and schlepped it into the bar, hooked my baby up so I didn't miss wine time.
With your friends, right?
With my friends. And so I just feel like I've just had a hard time accepting maybe that, I don't know, this comes with sacrifices or something.
I can relate to that. Bruce and I think our oldest was on 12 different airplane trips before he turned 1. We took him to Prague, London.
Dang.
I took him into movies. They had these mommy matinees where you could take him in. I saw Pride and Prejudice. It's the end scene. And I am changing a poopy diaper at the diaper changing table they put in the middle of the theater. And I'm like right there, the screen's all in front of me, changing the poopy
Mr.
diaper.
Darcy is trying to tell Lizzie that he loves her.
He's drenched. He's drenched. He's gorgeous. And I'm changing a poopy diaper, and I'm not missing a moment of my life.
Let me see this. Put this in my veins.
I'm not slowing down for this. He's invited into my life. Is what I felt like.
Yes.
So, do you relate to this, Erin? This whole
Oh my gosh. Yes. I think I wanted to prove that having kids wasn't going to slow me down.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, I can still do all the, I'm still so much fun. Look how much fun I am. I'm still fun. I got my baby on my back. I got my baby on my front.
Oh, were you an attachment person? Like you had all the wraps?
Well, I just had all the wraps because I still wanted to do all the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, just for ease, not to be close.
It wasn't like you read a book and you were like, I need to wear my baby all the time for attachment. It was like, I want to keep going and you're coming. Yeah.
Yes. And apparently also bonus, this is helpful for your
dad. Exactly. Look at me being a good mom.
And that was the bonus, right? Like that was the thing. It was like, I looked like what I cared about was the attachment, but really what I cared about was not missing out with all my fun friends that didn't have babies yet.
Checking all the boxes. Check.
Strollers slow you down.
Yeah.
So, how many years married were each of y'all before you started the kid thing? Like how many years of marriage did you have without kids?
Three.
Yeah, I'll never forget Erin showing up to my workplace telling me that she was pregnant. I was just like, what? We're not doing that yet. Like, I didn't mean to do this. It happened. I've not told anyone. I'm like, Erin,
you were the first person I told. And I remember you going like your face was like, what? This isn't what we're doing. And I was like, I know. And I was like, it's fine. I didn't think about it at all, but think about all of the women who have had children before me in much more chaotic circumstances. It'll be fine. And it was okay for a while.
Wait, so how many years until you took the plan? Did she lead the way? Did you feel like, okay, if Erin can do it, I can do it? Or was yours not thought out either? It just kind of happened?
Yeah. I mean, I was about to turn 30. I don't know how many years of marriage. So that must be 8. And
y'all kind of held it. Okay.
Yeah. So I was about to turn 30 and I looked at Michael and I just said, I know that we ultimately want a family. Like, I know that's something we want for ourselves.
Yeah.
So like, let's just pull the goalie. You know what I mean?
I remember you saying like, we had a discussion and it occurred to us that we would look up one day and be like, oh, we forgot to have kids.
That's exactly what we said. We forgot. And so I said, let's just like add it to the chaos. And I feel terrible saying that. I was thinking about this because I know that a lot of women like really struggle. And so I feel, but that was our journey of just giving it a go. And then we just kept adding them. And Erin it was a surprise every time. God bless her.
Yeah, we were not great. We were not great about, just being responsible or nuanced or thoughtful about our choices.
Cyrus will always be a celebratory baby.
Yeah. Well, and they all were in their own way.
So you each have 3.
Yes. And we each have the distinction of raising ourselves with our firstborn.
Okay.
So that's exciting too. We love that.
We love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tell me about that. Tell me what does that mean for you? Raising yourself with your firstborn. Your oldest is how old?
So my oldest is 11. 12. Yeah. And we share a lot of similarities, but where we really, the like deep feeling and the emotion,
the intensity,
intensity.
Yeah.
And like just so much, you could just break your teeth because you're gritting them so hard. So, we are almost the same person to the point where now that we are entering this preteen stage, she wants nothing to do with me because I think she sees her future and she's like, wow, that's
amazing.
She's got some stuff going on there. I don't really know. Seems like she needs a lot of therapy. So, but so we're entering that preteen world where she's like, now it's not as fun that we're a lot alike. It's not as cute. She's not into it as much. So, and I'm like, don't you want to, why are you leaving me? Don't be my friend. Not my friend, but you know what I mean? Just like, don't push me away. But no, that's happening full on.
And then they come back around.
Yes, that's what I hear. I'm just, and it's
you got it. The 11, 12 to me is the sleeper on the developmental
Yeah.
No one talks about it, and they pull away from faith a little bit. They pull away from their family a little bit. They have struggles with their social life. It's an unexpected stage. And I don't know if it's culturally like it's hitting them a little earlier, this preteen thing, or if this is just part of like, it's always been.
Yeah, I think,
I'm not an expert.
This is my child who, when she was 5, she asked me why God killed the baby T-Rexes. So we've always had like a deep, like she's always been like very thoughtful and mindful about faith and God. But I have noticed that this is like, it's just more questions, more just, it's the beginning of that development of faith, I think. And where, is it okay to ask questions? How can I be as antagonistic towards this as possible?
Yeah.
Like, what are the stupid questions I can ask to trip these people up? I love doing that.
Yeah.
That's super fun.
I know more than they do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How old's your oldest, Courtney?
Coco's 8.
Okay, so they're 3 years apart. You've had 8 years as a mom. You've had 11 years as a mom, Erin. Okay, so tell us about this growing up as they grow up. What do you feel like has shifted in you as a mom? Like, what's grown up in you?
Well, I will say this, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but God really healed something in me this past year as far as motherhood goes. Because like I said, for a long time, I had really rejected motherhood. I really found it sort of boring, and I didn't want to talk about sleep schedules or mom stuff. Like I just had stuff I wanted to do. And I still wanted to be a person and be me. And so it was really hard. And so consequently, I really let a lot of other people's advice rule the roost and just like try to implement what everybody else was doing. I really never took ownership of it. And I had this moment screaming in therapy this year of like, we were talking and I all of a sudden just started shouting, I'm a mom. I'm the mom. I'm their mom. I'm a mom. Like, and I don't know. It took me 8 years to like, I was like, oh, I'm a mom. And like, I didn't realize how much I had like not taken that title on. And I just have felt so, it's like one of the first times I've been able to tell that story and not burst into tears because it's huge. Like I can just feel my heart racing now that I was just finally accepting the title. I just feel so much more connected to my kids now. This quarantine really helped that like they're mine and I'm the boss. And I know what I need to do with them. I just have not really like connected with that. Like my mom was the mom or just other people were the boss. And so it's really helped me connect with them and find like a lot of peace and nothing is really an assault to my parenting anymore. Like things are just advice now, or that's interesting, just something to consider, but I'm not taking these criticisms but I mean, it was a very long on-ramp. I was watching a friend crying the other day about to have a baby and just feeling the loss. And I just was like aching for her because it's so real. Like there is like a lot of grief and excitement with having a baby. It is this wild yin and yang. And just to know that it did take me 8 years and 3 kids to accept this season, this title. I mean, that contributed to a lot of depression and just a lot of struggle and being an artist and all sorts of things in my life. So it's been a long road.
I hear like that identity and almost like redefining what a mom is. I think sometimes like not owning that title is because we think it's a thing that it's maybe not. And so it sounds like to me like you embraced your brand of motherhood, what you are and who you are and how God made you. And like, I love that ownership and just, no, I don't have to take on their definitions or their labels or their versions of what it looks like.
Yeah.
And you're thriving in it now, right? Like that's fantastic, Courtney.
Yeah. Feeling way more just connected to my place and my season.
Yeah.
For sure. And that helps redefine what thriving looks like.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
huge.
we're not a family that sits around at dinner and eats together. I don't like that, but that's not us. That's not my life.
That's not your life. That's okay.
Oh, that was another huge thing that I realized over Christmas is like, stop trying to be someone else's family. Be your family. Like, look around and be like, what do you guys do well? How do we function together? And like accepting that. Oh gosh, that was huge. That's how we got another dog. Neither here nor there.
Our new random dog.
Louie and Louie.
That's it.
Oh, because you have 3 as well. 3 kiddos. Okay, so Erin, what did growing up in motherhood look like for you? I know I'm totally not using our questions, y'all.
That's fine. We're just making it up as we go.
I think it's I think this is fantastic. I haven't introduced y'all. Nobody knows who's who.
We don't know what's going on.
Professional, almost 8 years in the job, and I don't even care. This is my Super Bowl.
Trademark.
This is my Super Bowl for motherhood, is Mother's Day. And I felt so much pressure that I was like, I don't even know. I just want to have fun. I want to look forward to my interviews. So I invited y'all.
Are we the Mother's Day episode?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all are. This is what I'm saying. It's the Super Bowl and I have Erin and Courtney and I'm loving every minute of it.
And we're talking about how much we hate being moms.
No, that is not what I heard. That is absolutely not what I heard. What I heard is that this has been this journey and motherhood is a part of this process for you. And I think every mom can relate to that. Every mom. If you came on here and told me that you did all the things and nope, that's not relatable. So, okay, Erin, what did your growing up while you were mothering in these 11 years look like?
You know, I think what was really what I've found as we're kind of entering this new stage. We're about to go to middle school. And I think one of the things that has really stood out to me is that there are, and like just through my work on the Bible Binge and just being a internet person, what I have discovered is that there are 1,000 ways to love God. Like the way people love God, it comes across in 1,000 different ways, right? And I think in the same vein, what I have learned is that is also true for motherhood. Like there are so many ways to be a good mom, and it doesn't look like for Courtney what it looks like for me, what it looks like for Heather. And I think that has been so influential. One of my dearest friends is one of the most nurturing, loving, deeply just maternal people. And she was a mother to me before she was a mother to her children. And she still is. But I was constantly trying to be a mom like Liza is a mom. And Liza is an excellent mother, but I do not possess the things that Liza possesses within me, like in my spirit. And that the way I mother is different from her. And that doesn't mean it's any less valid. It doesn't mean it's any less, no matter what I know. I think one of the things that I know now is that it's kind of similar to Courtney. Like I didn't really love this as much as I thought I would. And that terrified me. And until I really let go of the idea that I had to be the same kind of mother as everyone else, that I had to read the same books, that even the way, because my mom is amazing, but my parenting doesn't even look like her parenting, So I think it was so freeing and it seems so simple. And looking back, I go, you big dummy. Like, why would you ever think that like, that's not even how humanity works. But I think it's so ubiquitous, this idea of being a mother, what it looks like, what a good mother looks like. It's changed so much from our generation to the previous generation. And so I just think it was so influential to me. And also like trying to figure out, and again, this is kind of piggybacking off of Courtney, but like, what do we want our family to look like? And I think bringing my kids into that conversation too, like, what do you guys want this family to look like? What is important to you? What is it that you need from me? What is it that you need from your dad? How do you want to be supported? And I think asking those questions and having them take ownership of what they wanted the family to look like and what we wanted the family to look like, and finding that happy medium was really, really influential for us.
Because we're all such really cool people. It would be a shame
Exactly.
if we like tried to smush
That's
that.
what she's saying.
That's what I'm saying. We have a lot of excitement around us and gifts. And if we shove it into some other box, that's boring. We're not handing our kids the gift of Erin, the gift of Courtney, or I don't know. I had a great grandma who was like farm. Okay, y'all, Indiana farm. I have in my head her jumping over a fence at 95, her washing her feet in the sink, like so flexible. That's in my head of like, oh, women do, like, they're sprightly and they have energy and nothing holds her back. And then my grandmother was like, got a master's degree and a full ride to a St. Louis university. Anyway, I just had in my head a lot of examples of women. My mom went back to school, got her degree. In my head, the examples I have, because those women didn't hold back to be a version that fit the culture, I never saw boundaries on what I could be.
Yeah.
And I think if we like
Nice.
stifle or try to fit in a box of X, Y, and Z kind of mom, and that's a good mom, our kids miss out. Girls or boys. I think both.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I have all boys, so I mean, I don't have the girl who's like, I'll be a mom like my mom, but just cry me a river. All right, everybody cry. But I was telling Courtney, Erin, that yesterday I went to the musical Tuck Everlasting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the musical?
I don't think I've seen the musical.
Oh my gosh. I know I'd seen the movie, but I was bawling because this girl, she's 11, has this choice of, do I drink from the water and live forever with this family, or do I stay on the wheel of life and get married and be a mom and grow old and watch my kids grow up and get married? And she chooses to stay on the wheel. And I just feel like we're part of like this wheel as moms, this like legacy building thing. And that's why I love, Courtney, that you're embracing this and you're owning this identity because you're a shaper. It's not like you're important because you need your kids to be trophies. You're important because you get to pass on your thoughts, your beliefs, who you are to another generation, that things you'll never see.
Yeah.
Like you'll leave this planet and those kids will still be here, passing it on to that. Anyway, that part's cool.
Yeah.
And there's no pressure to like perform in that. That's just be yourself and pass it on. Anyway, that's a little tangent.
No, you preach.
Go see the musical Tuck Everlasting. These are all I just want to be in the drama club with y'all because I was in all the musicals in the high school and all this stuff too. And I know y'all went to camps and y'all.
There was a magical summer, Heather, where Courtney and I worked together and we were with each other every day of our lives. And it was wonderful and beautiful. And we will never forget it. It was so precious.
See, I'm super jealous of that.
I'm thankful to bring you this fun conversation thanks to sponsors like Rothy's. Now, have you heard of this company? They make stylish, sustainable shoes and bags, and they're carefully crafted with eco-friendly materials. Get this, repurposed plastic water bottles and marine plastics. And they're so comfortable with zero break-in period thanks to their seamless knit-to-shape design. Now, I don't know if you've seen them, but I have really cute closed-toed like flats that I got from Rothy's. They're called The Point, and their black version has over 5,000 near perfect reviews. I chose the big cat pattern because to me that's like a neutral, like a good animal print is a neutral. I've been wearing them all the time. Like now that I'm suddenly my calendar is very full with places to be, and I feel really cute and they're comfortable. So if you want to go check them out, check out all their amazing shoes, bags, and masks over at rothys.com/DMA. That's rothys.com, ROTHYS Rothy's.com/DMA for Don't Mom Alone. Style and sustainability meet to create your new favorites. So head over to Rothy's.com/DMA today.
Okay, speaking of owning your motherhood, I'm going to go to the questions.
Okay.
And I told these girls, I listened to an episode with Brene Brown and Dax Shepard and Tim Ferriss, and she sent them questions, and then she just wanted them to like think of them on their own so they didn't influence each other. So in the thread of Brene Brown, what are some of your motherhood superpowers as you've been analyzing like your brand, who you are?
Yeah. Well, okay, I have two. Okay.
Flying? No.
I fly. All three of my kids have really awesome baby books. And
That's impressive.
Thank you. I feel really shocked. I don't know why I got into this, but because the joke is that the first kid has one and then nobody else has a baby book.
Or
and
three for the first kid.
Yes, exactly.
And none for the
whole
last.
life story. Yeah.
So, he ate his first apple sauce today, Yeah. Write it down. So what is your method of baby book? Like, do you have a specific brand, or what? Are you a scrapbook, like digital scrapbooker, or what do you do?
Yeah, I think what it was I got like this, I think they're 12 by 12 little scrapbook styles. And so it was just something that was like easy for me to maintain. It wasn't that I was like writing down when they crawled or something, but I just kind of started, it was just a place for things about their story to land, and pictures of, and so just little tidbits. I don't know. It just is like, grown and been a consistent thing that I just like to contribute to. I keep them accessible. I think that's another thing. They're not like packed away. They're easy on the bookshelves for me to get to. So I don't know. It's just something I've enjoyed, and I feel really proud of that.
I think that's great. That's great.
Thanks.
There's a creative element to that too that resonates with your creativity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
And second is that my kids eat sardines. So I don't want to.
Wow.
Just
Don't
throw
wanna
that
rub
shade.
in, but
Do you feel proud of yourself right now?
I do, because always, like when we're camping, you better believe that's some good, healthy protein that I can crack open with some chips for my people. No, they stink like fish. Yeah, that's a mess. But my mom ate sardines.
I'm trying not to gag.
Sardines.
Like, I'm really trying not to gag. I'm really proud of your superpower, but just no.
Okay.
That's great. So their palate is just
I'm so
totally wiped out. They can eat anything now because from sardines, anything is available.
Cheese pizza. So that's why I feel really I have something.
Okay.
Because they suck at eating. And it is literal Cheerios and cheese pizza. And they don't eat anything I make. I hate dinner time.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's the worst. So the fact that I have this is just something I need to hang my hat on.
I think that's great. I'm very proud of you. Mm-hmm. I'll send you a load of sardines through Amazon.
Guys, I get really into the bougie ones from like Portugal.
What?
Oh gosh. I love a good branding on a sardine can.
Okay.
Because it's a thing.
This is a lot of new information for me.
I know.
There's I regret this ever.
No, this is
okay.
And I feel like the need to Google bougie sardine options.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, Erin, you're up. What was your superpower?
Okay, I'm really good at one-on-one time. You want to go on let's have some quality time. Let's go on a date. Let's do all of the I love a good treat day, right? And I'm great at that. I'm a really good facilitator of that. And there's really good conversation that comes from that, because all of my children would literally crawl back up inside of me if they could. There is never enough of me to go around. So these are crucial for us. The second thing I'm really good at is I've perfected the lay down game. So what I mean by that is I'm really good at quote unquote playing with my kids, but really I'm just laying down. And so that's like, let's play doctor. Let's play sleeping whale at the bottom of the ocean. Let's whatever you want to make a fort around me. That's amazing. Do that. And so I look like I'm playing with my kids. They're getting the feeling that I'm playing with them, but I am not actually playing with them. I am laying down. Sometimes I have my AirPods in, and that is a double bonus.
That's it.
Oh my gosh, those are both winner superpowers. I'm curious with the one-on-one, do you have a system or is it just like, hey, this kid right now, it just happens?
Yeah, like what we had a situation at school this week, and it was obvious that like we needed to talk. And I don't know. I mean, you guys have 3 kids. Our house is absolute constant chaos. Just like, and nothing could have prepared me for the kind of chaos. And there's never any time to sit down and like, let me look at you in your eyes and like, let me see how you're doing. Like, let me know what's going on in your world. What music are you listening to? Like, I've got one kid that just wants to listen to the Junie B. Jones soundtrack on repeat. She literally doesn't care about any other music. And so like, you just like, you miss out these little nuances. And what I discovered is that, and they love being by themselves with a parent. Like, just, we're going to get a treat. And yeah, I'm bribing you a little bit with a cookie and a Sonic, but I'm okay with that. That's okay. And so I remember my mom did that for me. I don't know if she did it intentionally, but we would go like to the mall and we would get like America's Great Cookie Company, whatever. And it was just like, it was such great time with my mom. And I wanted to recreate that with my kids. And I just didn't know the bonus was they'll actually talk to you and they'll like say things that they have the time and the space to say, which I think is great. So
winner. So you're just kind of watching to see like, is there a high need moment? And like, this is a good time. And the weekends probably.
Yeah.
You're at work at a location every day.
Yes.
During the week. So then during the weekends I feel like it's a lot for moms who work outside of the home to balance all the things, like the kids, the friends, the home, it's a lot.
I'm pretty protective of the weekends. Like we're gonna spend some time together, and like I want everybody to rest, and I want everybody to have a chance to chill, and that includes me. So
do you say no to some friendship things outside of your family
all the time? Yeah.
Like a boss.
Like all the time. Yeah. And it's not because I don't want to hang out with my friends. It's that if I can tell, like, or even it doesn't even have to be like a bad thing that precipitates the one-on-one. Like it can be, hey, like I can see that you've worked really hard on your grades and you brought back a great weekly report. Like, let's go celebrate, just that, like taking the time to make sure that they know that you notice what's going on in their lives, I think.
Huge. I think a lot of people I've interviewed would say that that's a really good superpower. And you're laying down. I interviewed a gal that does play therapy, and I think you're just doing exactly what she said. Just let the kids lead and you just hang out. They feel empowered and you're just winning. Those are great superpowers.
They love to play like I'm sick.
I have a new option for you. You could be a sardine.
Oh, that's
in a can.
In a can. You're laying down. See what I did there?
That's good.
Okay. What about your mom kryptonite? Like what do you need support for? What's not something maybe you don't handle well or your husband does better? Or...
Do you want to go first or you want me to? Because I will happily talk about how much I hate mealtime.
Okay, do it. Let's go. Yeah.
Despise it.
Why do they have to eat 3 times?
They want to eat
all the time.
So many times. They want food all the time. They are so picky. They are, and like we're Ben and I are pretty adventurous eaters, and it's cheese pizza and chicken tenders and mac and cheese, and that's it. Those are literally the only things they eat. Like tonight on the stupid meal plan is a meal I know none of them will eat.
Yes.
And I don't care.
This is my life.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like a failure every day. This is what I hate about it. the end of the day makes me feel like a crappy mom.
Yeah.
They're not getting nutrition.
No.
We're not gonna, I just cooked for you, but nobody eats it.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna free you both
don't
up.
sell me on the meal plan that sponsors you, Heather.
No, this is where I'm gonna free you up. Okay, so I have the old kids. I have 4 boys, right? And everyone's like, boys eat all the time. Oh my gosh, boys eat all the time. Not until they hit puberty. They are not eating all the time. I wonder how they're alive, how little they eat. But I had to recognize that they ate lunch. Lunch was their biggest meal. Dinner was like, I'm going to make a dinner for Bruce and I. I'm going to make 2 portions for Bruce and I. And then they might have a bite each. I'll put a bite on each plate and that's it. They don't need any other food because they're not going to eat it anyway.
And don't eat it.
They're not going to eat it. And I mean, we're big on like a snack cabinet, a drawer full of fruit. You can eat as much fruit as you want. And they grew fine. They're actually very healthy eaters because they stop eating when they're full. We never made them eat anything. And now they eat like gangbusters. Like I have to make 6 portion. Well, 5, because my littlest guy, he's still nibbles at dinner. I just don't count dinner as a meal for them. It's just not a meal. It's optional exposure to some new foods.
All right.
I like that. An optional exposure to new foods.
And honestly, their favorites is sushi. They love sushi. They love it's Indian food. I mean, it takes years. But if they see you eating it and they're exposed to it, eventually you're going to be like, wow, we go out to dinner and it costs us over $100. This is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
Can I just point something out that you just said that I think is so revolutionary?
Okay.
And it is the phrase, it takes years.
Yeah.
Put that on my gravestone. Like that is, if I could remember that phrase for pretty much everything in regards to motherhood, I think I would be so much freer. How do I get that tattooed on me so I can see it every
I
day?
think y'all are in that phase of like, you don't have one old enough to see what mattered and what didn't.
There's no end to the tunnel.
I have this gift of like, oh, I didn't have to make that such a big deal because he's now making choices for himself. He's 15. So he's choosing what he eats. He's choosing how he spends his time. It's less of me dictating it. So I'm seeing like what was important, what mattered, and like, oh my gosh, why did we spend so much energy on that? That was a waste. Like, why did I make that so important?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's that you're in that tricky stage where you wonder, like, will they go to prison because of this? How much therapy? But how much? So yeah, it's a tricky stage, but thank you for being honest, because I think moms can relate to that struggle. That is, I think, very common. And I think, honestly, if they eat a big meal, then they don't go to bed. They're kind of like digesting. I don't know. It's a theory.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
What is it? The guy that Dagwood, or the comic, when he would eat a sandwich, he'd always have bad dreams. He'd eat a big sandwich.
Oh yeah, from the comics.
Yeah,
I remember him.
I don't know. I just made that up. I'm not a doctor.
Not a doctor. FYI.
Okay, so Courtney, what's your kryptonite? Is it dinner time too? Is that what you were going to say?
Well, I mean, 1,000%. I was going to say also socks. I don't like them, or wear them. So I don't put them on my kids or buy them for my kids. And my husband cannot stand bare feet and never has his feet exposed. So it's like this weird, he doesn't understand why there's like what's the problem?
No foot covering.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't want to pick them up. They're everywhere. They don't stay together. I just don't understand them. Like, let's just not
just forget socks as a society.
I find them annoying. They are the thing that snap the camel's back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes. That's how I feel about one of my children refuses to, she will hoard her underwear.
Yeah.
And I find them in the weirdest places. Like I've found them in a dollhouse. I found them in the refrigerator.
Like clean or dirty? Clean or dirty?
It's her used underwear.
No.
She just tucks them away.
Just like it's like, I'm going to put all of my clothes in the dirty clothes hamper, except for this wadded up underwear that I'm going to put in the crisper in the refrigerator. And I go, why are you doing this? And she looks at me and she's like, I don't know. It's not something that I think about. It's not something that I understand the psychology behind, but it makes me want to go on a murder spree. I do not understand what the logic is behind hiding the underwear in the weird places.
I just feel this about 8 in general. I can't, this age.
Oh my gosh. It's going to give me a nosebleed just thinking about it.
It is.
Which age? The age of 8?
8.
Heather, 8.
Okay. 8.
What is happening?
Yeah.
It's like it's like their bodies haven't caught up with their brain yet.
They're capable of doing a lot with their bodies at this point. They're capable, but there's not a lot of like cause and effect available.
Wow, no, not at all.
There's not a lot of like, especially for boys. Y'all have girls that are 8, but I never ask them why, because there is no why.
Oh yeah. Our friend Retha has this great phrase that she uses with her kids, and it's always walk me through that. But they'll make a decision and she'll be like, all right, well, walk me through that. And through that question, they discover that what they have said is stupid.
Wasn't a great choice.
When you ask an 8-year-old to walk you through that, there is no logic that has come into the brain to help them understand why they have chosen a certain way. Mm-hmm. And it's not there yet. We're working on it, but man, it is tough.
I'm picturing the dirty underwear in the crisper. I just can't.
Just everywhere.
I can't get that image out of my head.
In the wine rack?
Okay.
What under the rug?
How are you guys going to sell your house if there's dirty underwear?
Great question, Heather. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to sell your house while you have kids is like eating Oreos while you're trying to brush your teeth. It's just not possible. No. I want to put a sign on our door that says, I wanted this to be so much cleaner than it was.
Yeah.
I have children and they hate me.
Here's the benefit of it being a seller's market. I have been in a lot of homes lately, and nobody's making it look nice. Like we just got out of a pandemic. Every single room is an office. Every room is an office. There's stuff everywhere.
Enjoy.
And it's like they're like
find a bonus pair of underwear. They're
kind of flexing. They're kind of flexing their mess. It's kind of like,
want this?
You want this? You want to pay extra for this? Come on.
Yeah. You want to pay cash? No inspection?
I kept my dirty carpet for you. Here's the stain from my nachos. Yeah, maybe 200,000 more. Come on. So you're in a good place at least. It's not like you have to have it pristine to sell.
Well, good, because it ain't happening.
Another great sponsor I love sharing with y'all is Thrive Market. You may have heard me talk about them before. I use it to get special products, particularly ones that I would have to go to a different grocery store to buy, products that may be keto focused or gluten-free or whatever, maybe some clean home cleaning products, some stuff for our dog that I don't want the junk in his food either because he's so precious. If you want to check it out, so Thrive Market, basically, you go on there, you can choose food, snacks, body care, whatever you want. And if you spend over $49, you get free shipping. You get a membership. And so for 1 month, it's $9.95. For 12 months, it's about $5 a month. And if you join today, you're going to get $20 off your first order and a free gift. Check out those free gifts. I typically save $20 to $30 each order. So that membership fee is totally covered in the savings that I get. If you want to check it out and get high quality, healthy, sustainable products and get lots of wholesome food, home, beauty stuff, go check them out. Join Thrive Market today. Get $20 off your first order and an exclusive free gift. The only way to get this offer is by going to thrivemarket.com/DMA. That's Thrive, THRIVE market.com/DMA. thrivemarket.com/DMA. Get this exclusive offer with $20 off and a free gift. You can't get this offer anywhere else. So go to thrivemarket.com/DMA.
Thank you for sharing those. I truly relate to all of those. The socks. Oh man.
I can't fathom your
Okay,
life.
so I had to get down to everybody gets a different brand of socks.
Oh, that's smart.
And they're like the shoebox drawers from the Container Store.
Yeah.
You know, where you pull the drawer out, but it's like the shape of a shoebox.
Yeah.
And everyone's color coded. So the youngest he's orange, black for Watts, or the third. Anyway, everyone's color coded. And I keep the socks downstairs. Keeping them upstairs is madness because they're never getting on
with
feet.
The washer and go.
They're just downstairs.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we do. No separating it out. Just it's a treasure box. You find what you find, which means sometimes Cyrus wears one short unicorn sock and one of his big sister's athletic socks. And that's just how it is.
I think it's a win. You get out. That's what I like about summer, Courtney. I totally relate to that because when we were in the seasons of, I think Crocs are now like bad because of carbon footprint and all that jazz. But whatever is allowed now without socks, I'm like, yes, summer, no socks. Praise Jesus. No, that I can totally get that. It does get easier when they can manage their socks. I will tell you, it does get easier. Okay. I know we're closing in on our time. Were there any questions you were like, I want to answer that one?
You pick.
How you stayed sane?
Oh, I have a deep and intense sleep ritual.
Oh, tell us
that
about
that. Begin at 6:00 because I'm so excited about going to sleep.
Tell us about your sleep ritual. Yeah.
Well, it's just very intense. I have special pajamas. I leave my special pajamas next to the air conditioner all day so that when I get ready to put them on, they are like chilly.
Nice.
Because they're silk, because I got into silk pajamas during the pandemic. I also have a special sleep mask. I have my music hat, which is like my wireless headphones in a headband. That's a sleep mask also. I have scents. I have a certain thing that I listen to. I have a ritual.
What's your certain thing you listen to?
Well, I listen to really large biographies of like 16th century royalty on 0.7 speed. So right now I'm listening to a 29-hour book about Mary, Queen of Scots. And it's perfect because it's like I get a little bit of history and then I fall asleep. Because
do you set a timer so you don't like?
Yeah. Okay. And it's just the really slow British woman talking about Mary. It's so great. Yeah, I have my scents. I have
like what scents? Like what are you talking about? Scents?
I have like some call me crunchy foot rub.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like it was for a time, it was the only thing that brought me joy. I have my CBD gummy, I've got all my stuff.
Okay.
And I have my face is all ready. My hair's up in the towel. And it's just like, this is the only time when I can do what I want to do.
Okay.
And so I'm going to take my time. I love it.
So when do you when do you get into your bed? What time? You said it starts at 6. So
it starts at 6 with the gummy. I got to take the gummy so it has time to activate. And then everybody is in bed or in their rooms by 8:30.
Okay.
And then I am usually in bed by 9 reading, starting the process.
You don't do like the Netflix binging that time because
No, I don't. Like Ben is a night owl, but I want to be in bed. I have my weighted blanket. I have my cold pajamas. I have my silk pillowcase.
You have the silk. I was going to ask about the pillowcase because I feel like that's a game changer too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I definitely think all the sleep aids went up during the pandemic. That's where we put a lot of money is okay, this experience needs to be everything.
And it's wonderful. I'll never give it up.
And then what time do you get up? So how much sleep are you getting?
I get up about 6:30.
Okay. That's good.
So yeah, I feel good.
Solid. And then you're a nice person to be around.
I feel great.
Well, amazing.
Okay, Courtney, how did you stay sane? You said that you kind of embraced your motherhood during the quarantine.
Yeah. Well, part of that was that I think one of the reasons this past year was so hard was that we were living in our homes so hard. Like the housework seemed endless. Like we used to be able to leave, and so it felt like the house got to be clean for a minute, or it got a break, and it was just like overtime. You could literally spend the entire day picking up, and so I just like let myself walk in freedom a little bit and just sit down. And I really got into reading fiction and like cranking through it, doing that 20-minute timer, or just like letting the house be a mess, reading while my kids play. Like I gave myself permission to stop fussing around the house, sit down and do something that I like. And that it feels good to work your way through some books. And so.
And probably pretty amazing to have your kids see you reading. Like,
yeah.
Well, I gave homeschooling a shot. And so I got really into the whole, like, this is it. This is the ultimate. If we just read with our people, we will be winner, chicken dinner in the end. So.
100%. I mean, that and the ages your kids are, it's like you read aloud a couple great books and what more do you need?
That was such a gift to learn about during quarantine.
Okay. I'm curious because this is a special Mother's Day episode. How do y'all celebrate Mother's Day? I don't feel like I even have a good answer for this, but like, do you tell people ahead? I know I've had horrible Mother's Days where I woke up, there was no breakfast. I was in charge of getting all the kids up. My husband had worked so hard. He stayed in bed. I was ironing kids' clothes. I was doing all the things and I was so mad. And I think that same day I found out my foot was broken. I ended Mother's Day in the ER and I had like a 3-month-old newborn.
Oh my God.
So I was like, yeah. So I've had some bad ones. I haven't mastered this, but.
So I think I have, I've kind of cracked the code a little bit for me. Good. And that is that I have stopped viewing Mother's Day as a holiday for me. And what I mean by that is like, this is not a day that is for me to sleep in or anything. Like I just view it as a normal day and it's like, high five to mom, you're doing great. And then, but then here's your breakfast that we made you that's of middling to decent quality. We made you some cards. That's great. Your husband got you something awesome. We make sure and go bring flowers to all the kids' godmothers. So we do that. But I've started executive producing my own fake Mother's Day that I do for myself.
Okay. Tell us.
So like on another day that week, maybe it's the Saturday, but like I get to do what I want to do. Yeah. So I buy myself a massage. Yes. I go get a pedicure. Yes. I get to sleep in. I get to take a nap so that I'm still getting Mother's Day. But on the day, the kids feel like they get to celebrate me and they get to spend time with me and they, all of that thing. I put too much expectation the first few years of Mother's Day to be like, why am I angry on the first day? Like, why do I hate this day so much?
Well, and then you check the Instagram. Yes. And you check the Instagram and it's like, oh, look at the really amazing thing they did for their mom. And then you feel worse. Yeah. You're like, why did I give these losers who just do nothing good?
They threw a kolache on not even the "you are special" plate.
Kolache.
Just threw a kolache on a
regular plate.
Yeah.
A regular plate.
Didn't even get me a Diet Dr. Pepper. Just poured some water in a glass. It's just I'm done putting that expectation of everybody to know exactly what I want to do. I just do it myself.
That's smart.
That's good.
It's very wise. Really do you have a tradition, Courtney? Or
I mean, I don't do anything. Michael knows it is my nap day. We'll do church. They do breakfast, and then it's a free day. I hate when it's over. And then Father's Day he's full on.
Father's Day.
I'm also on. We expect you to fully engage. And Mother's Day, I'm napping. So Yeah.
It's so perfect.
Does your mom, Barb? So Courtney's mom is infamous on the internet, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have expectations for you to like come to their place that weekend or?
Yeah, no, because they're in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
So we get space. She doesn't want flowers. I mean, that's very wasteful.
That
I
sounds
mean,
right.
That's
That's
very
on brand.
wasteful,
That's
but
on brand.
Yeah.
That may
So
fit.
it can't be, it does have to be thoughtful. Barb is adamant about Christmas and birthday and Mother's Day. This did not sneak up on you. Like, this is not, you have always known this holiday was coming. So if the card couldn't make it or the gift isn't here, well, then you don't love me.
That's on you.
Yeah. So
You didn't prioritize this.
no.
This is not the most
And
important
that's
thing.
clear. Courtney, actions speak real loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't miss those things and we keep it real thoughtful.
It's smart.
Yeah. My poor sister, she's got her mother-in-law and her mother. And so that's confusing. What is a mother supposed to do when she's got to take care of her mothers?
This is what I had this moment. Yeah. The whole like, well, we need to go to my parents' house for Mother's Day. I was like,
It's hard.
so I think I'm going to embrace, Erin, your idea that it doesn't have to be on the day, that if I just kind of outline like what does matter to me, I think a lot of this motherhood journey is getting to know yourself.
Come on.
Gosh, yes.
And
Say it again.
Yes.
people in the back.
Yes.
Know yourself. I had this a moment with these women I was in a knitting group with, and I've shared this on the podcast before, but I was sitting with them and I hadn't even had my oldest son yet. I was pregnant. And I realized they had had more years after their kids had left the house than they ever had kids home. So in figuring ourselves out in those whatever years we have kids home really is foundational to never losing ourselves as we become, there's so much more life post kids leaving the home. There's so much life. We don't have to cram it all into those years they're home, but we also don't have to lose like who we are and just say, oh, it's all about the kids. So I think knowing yourself, embracing yourself, but loving your kids, I think nailed it. We got this. All the best
Well, we're
moms.
doing our best.
All the best moms right here. So I didn't even say, Courtney, tell everyone before we have to go because my tile guys are here for the bathroom.
All right. Yeah.
Well, tell us where they can find you and really pitch yourself because you have embraced something that you love, which is travel as a family. And if people need help with that, you even offer a service.
I do. So I'm at Court Clark Cleve, and I've just started a little travel biz called All the Best Days Travel Design. We're just in our early stages, but I want to, if doing all the research and planning a road trip or a trip for yourself just sounds exhausting, I want you to put all that on me. I really want to build you a unique travel guide for your family so that you can learn more about who you are and who you guys are as a unit and moving through this world. So yeah, I really want people to travel more quickly, more often, and enjoy it.
Courtney has designed several of our family's trips, and they are always so excellent. She finds the best things to do. She takes your family's vibe into account. Like one of the most important things she asked me was, how do you want to feel on this trip? And I was like, I've never even thought about that. I've had all these expectations for travel, but I've never said them out loud and had them like used in the planning. And so she's really so intuitive about the way she gets to know your family and learns what you love and what will be a good, successful trip for you. So I cannot recommend you to her more.
That's a good.
I love you too.
A good endorsement right there. 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah. And All the Best Days is your Instagram for that too, right?
Yes. I also have All the Best Days Instagram. It's kind of on a little pause.
It's on a little pause. Okay. Don't bring it up.
We're figuring it out.
Clark Cleve. Yes.
Court Clark Cleve.
That's me. Courtney Clark Cleveland.
Okay. So Erin, they need to check you out too. You are the resident seminary student and the host of the Bible Binge.
So I am the resident Bible scholar on the Bible Binge, and I host Faith Adjacent on the Bible Binge feed, and I co-host Favored or Forsaken on the Bible Binge feed. So come check us out. It's like if your great aunt got like teeny bit tipsy, like she had a tiny cocktail and she wanted to do a flannel board for you about Bible stories. That is kind of the vibe. So like we have a good time. We recap Bible stories like you would a TV show or a movie. And then Knox and Jamie do that. And then I come in the back and I offer the gentle rebuke where we may have been a little heretical or we may have not fully understood a historical context. And so it's comedy. It's supposed to be funny, but then we also do, but Faith Adjacent is my show where I kind of walk through finding God in places that maybe we did not expect to find him.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think y'all are amazing. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for making us laugh. And I hope you have a fantastic Mother's Day.
Hey, you too. Even if it's not on the day.
Even if it's not on the day. Any day.
I hope that was as fun to listen to as it was to have that conversation. It really inspired me that I might want to do more of these, like friends, mom friends, have them on the show and just have a fun conversation. I don't know if that's something you're into. If you are, DM me and tell me if you enjoyed this. I'm going to pray over us. I'm going to pray over the upcoming Mother's Day and just this message of leaning into who God made you to be. Lord, I thank you that none of us are the same. I thank you for the variety that you created. I thank you that you are outside of our motherhood at work in the lives of our kids. I know that we are growing up as our kids grow up, and I thank you for that grace. I thank you that we can own the unique role we play in our kids' lives and the legacy that we leave, but that we don't have to be burdened by that we can trust you. I thank you, Lord, for the celebration of mothers and their important role in shaping our culture and our world. And I pray that whether her day looks like she hoped or not, that she would feel your love and your presence and that she could just hear you, hear your voice telling her how you delight over her. And I thank you and praise you for each mom represented here, each dad that listens in too. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks y'all for joining me. Next week, I'll be back with my friend Kay Wyma, and it's a good one. It's a great conversation. I have posted this week a Mother's Day giveaway that I hope you've entered. It's over on Instagram. I sent it to my email subscribers. And last week, a fantastic conversation was had over on Patreon with one of my patrons, Sue. She signed up to have a mentor moment with me, and oh my lands, I was ministered to. It was so great. So if you haven't checked out our Patreon community, head over to patreon.com/don'tmomalone. Just content is happening there. I'm about to release those play videos that Carissa Fry, who was on the show, she is going to train us in how to play with our kids and show that in a video with another friend of ours, Angel. So y'all, good stuff happening over on Patreon. I hope to meet you there. And I hope you have a fantastic week. Adios.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Don't Mom Alone podcast. If you're wanting to connect with more people and more resources to help remind you that you're not alone, head over to don'tmomalone.com. That's where you'll also find show notes with any links mentioned by our guests. Most importantly, I want you to know the good news, the great news that you're not alone because God has promised to always be with you. With faith in Jesus Christ, the one who died for you and rose again, Jesus said when he left, he was going to leave a helper, a comforter, to be with us. God in us. Moms, that's superpower. So while you're washing dishes at your kitchen sink, while you're driving to and from work, while you're feeding that baby late into the night, while you're cleaning sticky floors, God promises to be just as present with you as when you're worshiping in a church pew. As it says in Zephaniah 3:17, The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. He takes great delight in you. He will quiet you with his love, and he will rejoice over you with singing. Now that's good news. Have a great day.